Namaskar. In this video I would like to talk about enjoying meditation, about concentration. The mind cannot stand still. The mind hunts for objects and thoughts. Why? Because every form, every object is a dead thing. The shape, the form is already dead, is immobile. And our living consciousness, our living spirit is not satisfied with something dead. It looks for something which is alive, searches. That's why the mind goes from object to object to object to object. We can enjoy the object only for a swift moment of time. And then mind leaves, mind sucks that object dry, takes all the pleasure that it can get from that object and leaves that object and goes to another object. That is why the cruder the mind, the more movement will be there, the more jumping from object to object. Because when the mind is subtle, the mind perceives not the shape, but the essence of the shape. But to perceive the essence of the shape, to perceive the essence of the form, mind has to be attuned to the essence. That is why, as you practice meditation, as you know more and as you realize the essence of things more, your mind becomes calmer. Because you can stay at one object and try to see that inner spirit in the object, and you can enjoy the object longer, and you don't have to go from here to here to here to here. So this is the idea. Meditation is never boring. Some people may say, wait a minute, meditation is boring sometimes. This is because you're not meditating. You're moving from one mental object to another mental object, from one thought to another thought. And meditation is, the essence of meditation is rejecting the thoughts. Crude thoughts, subtle thoughts. In meditation, there is this process. You assess the thought, you assess the object. You try to understand what I am perceiving now, what I am seeing now. Is it that? Is it that supreme goal which I am moving towards? No, this is not that. At that moment, you need to leave that thought. You need to leave that object. Mind is qualified by its objects. What you think, so you become. You think crude thoughts, the mind remains crude. If you start to think subtler, mind becomes subtle. So by liberating the mind from crude objects, you elevate yourself. This is very interesting thing. So in meditation, you pursue the idea of consciousness. Meditation is just like target practicing. There is a target and there is a bow and arrow. And you aim first. You have to aim. How you aim? You aim by rejecting the periphery and by accepting the center. So there is this metaphor that the target is Brahma, the absolute entity, absolute consciousness. The arrow is your soul. The bow is your spiritual practice. So you aim, you concentrate, you tune your spiritual practice in such a way that you look exactly into the center. What is the center? Center is the consciousness. What is the center of your world? Naturally, you are the center of the world. Why? Because this world exists, at least your world. My world is different, but your world exists as a projection of your I feeling. What I see is actually not a reality, because it is a reflection of reality. I see some waves of light, they come, they hit my retina and they vibrate my nerves, and they create image in the brain, image in the mind, and I look at that image. So, where is the energy to create that image comes from? If I'm in coma, do I see anything? I don't see anything, because energy is not there to create that reality. So the energy comes from the very center of yourself, which is called I feeling. Your I feeling is the projector, and the reality you see is the projection. The pain and pleasure is already there, in the central point. Well, that's, we can discuss it more. Philosophically, actually not, is also a little bit external to the central point. The central point does not have pain and pleasure, it has only bliss. But potentiality for any experience, for anything, comes from this central point, from your I feeling. So I feeling is the projector, and everything we see is the projection. And spiritual practice is going from the projection to the projector. And once you tune your mind to perceive the projector, then you will see another projector. You will see that your I is the projection of the great projector, of the cosmic I feeling, cosmic consciousness. So, and this is what we explore in meditation. So you sit and you think, you meditate, you repeat the mantra, but actually you're not repeating the mantra. You're repeating the mantra and you're thinking something. Then you have to catch yourself. I'm thinking something. Why do I think? Because I want to think. Why do I want to think? Because I am attached to different vibrations. To a certain level of consciousness I am attached. And I am able to enjoy the vibrations of that level of subtlety. There are chakras, like 7 chakras. Here there are, let's say, like for example, here there are some sexual thoughts. Those kinds of thoughts, you are able to get pleasure from those thoughts. Then here, little subtler, you will calculate profits, gains and losses, and that kind of, or you would like to conquer the world, have more power. Those kind of thoughts, they entertain you. You are able to receive pleasure from those thoughts, and then you go higher and higher. Here, there is a feeling of, it becomes like you become a bit altruistic. You want to do something for others, and here you become completely, you are free from ego, and you want to, the thoughts of service really entertain you. But all those thoughts, crude and subtle, they are around. They are not in the center. They come out of your I feeling, but it is not I. So we know so many things. We study so many things. We know oxygen, we know hydrogen, we know their properties. So we know everything around us. We know everything in the periphery, but we don't know what is inside. So meditation is going inside. So when you repeat the mantra, you try to go to the center. Like for example, mantra Baba Nam Kevalam that we use in our basic meditation. Already it contains the concentration. Kevalam means only. Nam means name. Baba means Father, the Supreme Father, Supreme Consciousness, the Source. I am the son of what? I am a projection of what? I am a creation of what? Something that has created me, that is Baba. Baba means also the one who is dearest and nearest, the most beloved, the most central. Who is the most dearest and nearest? The one who is in the center. Who can be nearer than the center? That is Baba. That is actually the literal translation. The dearest and nearest one. So Baba, Nam, Kevalam. Kevalam only. Nam, name. When you say a name of a thing, that thing comes forward out of multitude of things. And you get focused on that thing. So the only name of that which is dearest and nearest. So this is how you go with the concentration. It means that by, and then you repeat, and then a thought came. What you will do with that thought? You cannot suppress that thought. If you suppress, the mind will start accumulating the desire to move with that thought. And then that thought finally will overwhelm you. So you have to think that this thought is nice. I will not reject it. I will think it a little later. I will come back to it. But now, let me play a game. How many seconds I will need to transcend that thought, to come above it, to go to the center, from the periphery to go to the center and come above that thought. So by pursuing that Baba, by pursuing that dearest and nearest thing in your center, in your I feeling, you overcome, you transcend. And on the next level of consciousness, next level of vibration, you don't have attraction anymore to that thought. You just left it and it decays there. It does not attract you anymore. So this is the process. This is the process of rejection. I will think about it. It's like, it's a bit a trick with your mind. I will think about it, but now I will think about something greater. And then you try, and then your mind goes, you have left that thought. Oh, this is not yet the higher thought. This is not the highest thought. Let me search for a higher thought. And you leave it. You leave this thought behind, and your mind becomes lighter. The more you reject, the more you leave the crude thoughts, the mind becomes lighter. And then you leave the subtle thoughts, the mind becomes even lighter. And then you pursue the subtlemost thought, which is beyond the thought. And the moment comes, you will have to even leave the I feeling behind. Even the mind itself has to be left behind to pursue that which is beyond the form and shape. So this is the standard process of concentration. It's just like target practicing. You reject the periphery and you aim at the center. And then you have to pull the string till the pain in the muscles. So this pulling the string means the feeling of attraction, the feeling of the desire to know this Baba, this dearest and nearest one. I want to know the center. I want to leave the periphery and I want to know the center. So if you have the desire, if you have this strong yearning, I want to realize, I want to know, then with the vibration of mantra. The vibration of mantra strikes the spiritual force in the Kula Kundalini, the lower backbone. And the sleeping divinity force, the energy, Kundalini, awakens. And then the force of desire creates the passage in the Sushumna Nadi, in the central channel. And in that passage there is this vacuum created, and the energy starts to rise. When the energy rises, you experience higher states of vibrational planes. You experience a higher consciousness. This is how it works. So, leaving the crude thoughts, leaving the subtle thoughts, and moving towards subtle most objects that you can have. This is the standard. But sometimes the attachment of the mind is too strong, and you are thinking about your reports, you are thinking about your travels, you are thinking about your money. Why? Because you want, and you cannot do anything. You don't want Supreme Consciousness, you want this. Then there is another way to concentrate. It's quite simple. You sit in meditation and you accept, yes, my mind is crazy. I'm not able to focus. I don't have purity of the mind. I don't have purity of the heart. But each mantra I repeat is an offering to Supreme Entity. My repetition of mantra, my sadhana, my spiritual practice is a service to the Supreme Entity. It's like, what is love? Love is when you give something. So you sit in meditation and you repeat mantra. Let me give something little to the infinite cosmic entity. This is your audition. This is your attitude. Let me give something to God. Let me repeat mantra for Him. And when you do like this, with each mantra you want to repeat one more. You want to repeat one more. I'm doing it for Him. I'm doing it for Him. And paradoxically, there is not much concentration in that situation, but there is a concentration and there is a bliss. The bliss comes. So this is a very, very important technique. Sit and try to give something, not to take. Go and take from God, but try to give something to Him. Let me give you another mantra. Let me give you another mantra. Another mantra. Let me give you my presence. I am here with you. I am focused on you. My mind comes on you. Let me offer my time to you. Let me offer my attention to you. And in this way you are enjoying, and you can have a very, very good meditation. So two ways. One way is basically rejecting thoughts. This is not yet that. There is something higher, and searching for something higher, and creating an immense desire in yourself. I want to realize the supreme truth. Not like desire, you know, there is a desire, but there is this longing of the soul. So awakening that longing of the soul. I want to realize, and go into the center. From the projection to the projector. And another way is to feel that God is all around you. You are dating with God, and you and He all alone. And then you repeat the mantra, and your repetition of mantra is a gift for Him, your offering to Him. And then the flow of love will start, and you will enjoy meditation. Some people will say, I don't believe in God. I am a scientist. I am a rational man. Somehow they have this notion that faith in God is something irrational, is something religious. I am not agree that it is something religious, because religion does not believe in God. Religion believes in what it believes. in its concepts, is not a research, is a fixed belief system. But a science studies objective world, and we know so many things, but we don't know one thing. We don't study the one who is studying. So some atheists, they reject the existence of consciousness, the existence of God, but they have not studied it. Science, now objective science cannot disprove the existence of God. But the subjective science, when you look not outside, but when you look inside, it can prove the existence of consciousness. But in that laboratory, how many days have you spent? Oh, not days. Then how many hours? Oh, really, not even hours? Then how many minutes? Oh, not even minutes? How many seconds? I'm sure not even 10 seconds. A standard person don't have even a 10 seconds experience of what is in the center. Never looked into the center, always looked into the different thoughts. And thoughts are the projections of the projector, of the I feeling. Who has looked into that I feeling? Who has studied? If you have not studied it, why are you rejecting it? If you are a scientist, you have to be true scientist. You have to go into that inner lab and there conduct your research and experience, prove or disprove whether the consciousness exists or not. And what is behind that unit consciousness? When you stop your mind, when you still your mind in that point of your I feeling, when there is no what is around, but if there is only center, and then when you see the only center, and then you see that behind that center there is another thing creating that my I feeling, then what you will say? If you find that there is actually something, what will your science say? This is real science. So the science has two sides. One is external, working with the objects, and another one is internal, studying your own self. Thank you very much. Namaskar.